So I'm really excited today to be here with one of our faculty members who's been with us for a really long time, Dr. David Dornfeld. And I just wanted to chat with you for a little bit to ask you your opinion on MAPS, because I've known you for 15 plus years and we see each other at a lot of different conferences. And how does MAPS set itself different from all the other conferences?
Well, I've been coming to MAPS. This is probably my 12th out of the 14 MAPS episodes. And I learn something every year. I'm a primary care doctor from Middletown, New Jersey. I take care of kids on the spectrum and adults up to 102 years of age. And I will take the data that I learn from MAPS and take that and take care of my multiple sclerosis patients and my Parkinson's patients and my diabetes patients, because you learn about biochemistry here and you learn how to take care of the whole human frame. And that's what we try to do when we go to these conferences. It's not just, oh, I heard Dr. So-and-so give a lecture and Dr. So-and-so give a lecture. I'm an ACAM doc. I've gone to A4Ms. I've gone to so many different conferences around the country for years. I love coming to MAPS. It's like a good family of doctors that you learn from each other, and they are willing so much to share the knowledge they have of years of experience. Dr. Usman, Dr. Rosenall, in the past, Dr. Bradstreet was a big person here. And we learn so much. And to see Dr. Baker here all the time, it's fantastic. Dr. New, there are so many great docs who share the information. And you learn something each time. And the vendors are great here. I love coming here. I come here twice a year.
Well, we appreciate you coming here, but yeah, that's one thing when I was talking to Dr. New and Dr. Rosenall, they were talking about how we have DCs, NDs, and DOs. So can you speak a little bit on that, like in your profession, like with DOs, how to encourage them to come? Because I think you hit on a great point about how you take this back to your MS patients and you take it back maybe to your Lyme patients and chronic fatigue. That what we're doing, even though we're the Medical Academy of Pediatrics, it really crosses over, especially to the parents, right?
Absolutely.
And so, can you talk a little bit about that and how that you can incorporate in that as a DO?
Well, as a DO, a doctor of osteopathy, so we think a little more holistically. So we're able to take care of the whole person who has a disease, not the disease the person has. So if we look at all the individual parts of how that biochemistry works and the metabolism works, and you learn certain ways of undoing the puzzle of unwinding an autistic child. I do a lot of work with heavy metal balancing and detoxification. I do a lot of work with hyperbaric works. I think it's a fantastic 1-2 punch when we use those two in combination. But the therapies you learn from a structure and function relationship. As an osteopath, I do spinal manipulation. You're trying to improve microvascular flow. You're trying to improve brain stimulation. And it's also similar to what we're gaining by some of the steps we have when we hear about various supplements, various techniques. Right now we're listening with Dr. Rosenall is giving a talk right now on the tough kids who've really had a tough time.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you get teenagers that just don't move. Well, I've actually found that using your hands-on, doing craniosacral therapy and trying to get their spine opened up a little bit and enhance their detox pathways, and doing things like the ion cleanse and doing other items to help their body detox, it really works out well. As far as Lyme is concerned, Lyme disease is one of the hardest diseases to work with, and the principles you learn in taking care of an ASD kid, you can apply to your Lyme patients, and I said before, your heart disease patients and your multiple sclerosis patients. So I love it from a holistic point of view. As an osteopath, you have chiropractors here, you have naturopaths here, and you learn from these guys. Rather than the classic, I'm stuck in the classroom and I'm learning this topic. You really have a broad sense of learning here.
Right, because I get that a lot, like from the different doctors that come here, especially and then we have the testing. So that kind of sets us apart from other organizations where after they take the core curriculum, they have to take a test in that and pass, which is really nice because it holds everybody accountable, where they're not just coming here for CME. But I think you hit on another great point, which is about the whole family. And because we get a lot of adults that will call and they'll talk to me and they're like, I see all these topics and can I see a MAPS doctor? And I'm like, well, you certainly can call them because some of them will see adults,
That's true.
And so, we definitely don't want to change our logo, but we definitely are crossing that barrier too, where we're treating the parents or even just some random person that says, I need that education and I need to see a doctor that understands that, so it's pretty amazing. But I just want to say thank you. I mean, you said, you've been here for 12 out of the 14 conferences, which is amazing. And we're so appreciative of that.
And you learn something each time. You pick up items each time you come here. No matter if I'm speaking on stage and someone asks me a question, or if I'm in the audience and I'm hearing the the talk between one practitioner and one specialist and another. It's a great place to learn. We came out of Dan initially in the way of training doctors on how to take care of autistic kids. Well, they really didn't have that quality curriculum and standards that we have now at MAPS, and that's what I find is so fantastic. So when patients ask, hey, is there a Dan doctor? No, we have MAPS doctors. They are so much better trained. It's like, yeah, I heard about that. How can I find out more about it? So, luckily we have it 2 times a year, which works out quite well for us.
And it's nice because it's nice to see, coming into this, and being on the administration side is great, but being a parent, of my daughter who's very complicated and medically fragile, seeing all these doctors working together, or just like when I happen to walk by and I hear you guys talking, or I hear you're talking to somebody that's brand new, or Dr. New explaining something to somebody they were afraid to raise their hand, and you're so gracious all the time. All of my faculty,
and they're so excited.
Gracious,
These people who come for the first time, they're so excited to see and hear and learn. Their eyes are open. We have 50 new people here this time. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of MAPS. I so appreciate it.
Love having you.
Yeah.